The best strategy for every pick in fantasy this year. You gotta go with Ja'Marr Chase, a threat to lead the league in both receptions and touchdowns. Do you go with a very good running back who averaged 17 a game last year? Or do you go with the tight end who broke records and was tight end 1 last year? Ja'Marr Chase, Josh Jacobs, Brock Bowers, Alvin Kamara, and Marvin Harrison Jr. Set at every core position. This is how you build a juggernaut, guys. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Catching a Vibe. I'm Drew, and today I'm starting a new series. I'm going over the best strategy for every pick in fantasy this year. And today, we're starting with the first pick overall. Before we get into this video, I want to announce I want to do a fantasy football draft live stream with viewers. It's going to be me and my dad and 8 viewers. So I'm going to post in the community posts some dates, and you guys are going to decide when that draft will be. It's going to be awesome drafting with you guys. I'm excited for that. All right, let's get into the video. First overall pick, I think there's 2 options. I'm going to give 2 options for most of the picks. And right here, I think it's either Ja'Marr Chase or Bijan Robinson. This one's close. It's really close. I think both of these guys are going to be awesome this year. But in a full PPR, you got to go with Ja'Marr Chase. He's a smart first overall pick. Reasons why: he's Joe Burrow's favorite target and a threat to lead the league in both receptions and touchdowns. The Bengals will be passing a lot this year, especially with a shaky run game. You know, they've had offensive line problems the past, Joe Burrow's whole career. It feels like impossible defensive regression. Trey Hendrickson is still not signed, guys. So who knows how good this Bengals defense is. They're going to be relying on their offense and Joe Burrow and Ja'Marr Chase to make plays. T. Higgins has a bit of a history of getting hurt, so that could open up more targets and catches for Ja'Marr. So Bijan's a beast, no doubt about it. But you're still going to have to trust a new offensive coordinator and Michael Penix making his first full year starting at quarterback. So who knows what that's going to look like. I don't think you could go either wrong with these two, but I will say the first overall pick the past 6 years have all been busts. So maybe Ja'Marr is going to break that curse of the first pick. All right, guys, at pick 19 is either 2 guys for me: Brian Thomas Jr., the Jags' second-year receiver, or Josh Jacobs, the Packers' running back. This is whatever you guys prefer. Drafting 2 elite receivers right away, or do you want to grab that elite running back in this second round? I understand feeling the pressure to go grab that running back since you took a receiver at first. So Josh Jacobs makes a lot of sense here. He'll dominate the goal line touches. He's playing with a young, fast offense that should live in the red zone. He's proven from week 11 to week 16, he averaged 23 points per game in a very important stretch in fantasy. That's where you're making a run to make the playoffs in your league. So he was very dependable last year. I think Brian Thomas Jr., I think the sky's the limit for him. He showed so many flashes in his rookie year. I mean, he's 6'2", he runs a 4.4, and he has great hands. Had a 16-point average last year. He had 87 catches, 1,200 yards, and 10 touchdowns. And with the Jags getting a new offensive-minded coach with Liam Cohen, I think it could elevate BTJ to a new height. All right, pick 20. The debate for me is Kyren Williams or Brock Bowers. Do you go with a very good running back who averaged 17 a game last year? Or do you go with the tight end who broke records and was tight end 1 last year? If you drafted a running back already, I definitely think you go Brock Bowers. If you haven't, I think you got to grab Kyren Williams. But I will say with Brock Bowers, he's going to get crazy amount of volume this year. The elite tight ends outscore the average to good tight ends by 7 to 10 points a matchup. With Kyren Williams, he's a top 10 back with McVay. He has elite usage, pass game work, he catches passes. He has no real threat behind him. The Rams should be a really good offense this year, so he should be in a lot of scoring opportunities. Now, how I would do it, you walk away round 3 with Chase, Jacobs, and Brock Bowers. Elite playmakers at the most important positions. That's balance. All right, pick 40. You're looking at Alvin Kamara or George Kittle if you didn't pick Brock Bowers. Kamara is aging, but I think he's a safe floor RB2. The last 2 years, he's averaged 18 a game, guys. He gets a new offensive-minded coach with Kellen Moore. They have a rookie quarterback, so we could see them leaning on Kamara more to start the year, try to get the rookie more comfortable. But if you didn't select Brock Bowers, I would definitely pick George Kittle here. When he's healthy, he is a top 3 fantasy tight end every year. He's still a part of one of the best schemes in football with the bright-minded Shanahan. They lost a large part of their identity with Ayuk, who's recovering from ACL surgery, and Debo, who got traded to the Commanders. So they're going to have to rely on Kittle a bunch this year. So I love those 2 options for pick 40. Then pick 41, I only have one guy here because I'm sold on him. It's Marvin Harrison Jr., guys. He's in line to have a second-year breakout. Reports are saying he's dominating, and he looks like a whole different receiver than he did last year. If he can be consistent this year, he had good games, he had good flashes, but he'd have low games too. Like he'd score like 5 points, 8 points, just real crappy for drafting him in the second round. But I think he's going to be more consistent. I think Kyler Murray is going to feed Marv more. So now you've got Jamar Chase, Josh Jacobs, Brock Bowers, Alvin Kamara, and Marvin Harrison Jr. You're set at every core position. This is how you build a juggernaut, guys. All right, pick 60 gives you a shot at Baker Mayfield, who I believe is an elite quarterback option, or Jameson Williams, who is a ultimate boom player and has gotten better every year since he's been in the league. I would go Baker here. Baker has a lot of great options with Tampa this season. Evans, Godwin, Mbuka, McMillan, Irving, and White. You don't want to wait too long at quarterback. You definitely want to get one of the best quarterbacks in the league if you have a shot to win it all. Then the next pick at 61, I have Jerry Jeudy or Travion Henderson. Jeudy in his first year in Cleveland had a good year. 90 catches, 1,200 yards. Remember that game against the Broncos when he exploded for 40 points? He showed some high scoring ability last year. He has some question marks at quarterback, but there's no real threat to steal his volume from him. But Henderson is a wild card rookie who can earn major touches early and could be a star, a playmaker for this Patriots team. All the reports are saying he's catching balls out of the backfield like James White did for the Patriots during their dynasty. So he would be a great RB4 to stash and possibly start him in weeks. These rounds are all about depth and upside. You're drafting league winners here, guys. These are important rounds. At pick 80, I have David Montgomery here. He's been really good the past 2 years. 2023, he had a 14.8 average. Then 2024, he had 15.8 points per game average. I do think he's going to take a little step back. Jameer is going to get more of the workload, but he could be a great handcuff. And he's still a very good backup. I mean, with the Lions offense, he could still easily score 10 rushing touchdowns. And you can just rely on him scoring a touchdown for you. So I really like David Montgomery at pick 80. 81, there's two guys. I have Evan Ingram, if you only have one tight end, or RJ Harvey. Two Broncos. I like this Broncos offense a lot. I think these two could be good plays in fantasy. Ingram has shown that he could be a good fantasy tight end in recent years. I think he's a solid backup. And RJ Harvey, Sean was very high on him coming out of the draft. So I think he could make a lot of plays for this Broncos team. Pick 100, I got Dak Prescott here. I think this is the time to get your backup quarterback, and you should get a backup that has a lot of good options on the offense. He got hurt last year, but I think he's going to bounce back with the weapons he has. CeeDee Lamb, who's a true receiver one, should have a great year again. And George Pickens just got traded to the Cowboys. I think he can be a threat and keep the defense honest so they can't just double CeeDee Lamb. So I think the Cowboys are going to be throwing a bunch. I think Dak is going to perform really well this year. All right, pick 101. I have $2 here. Emeka Egbuka or Rachaad White. Baker has been praising Emeka a lot in his interviews. I think he could be a major sleeper in fantasy this year. He does have a crowded receiver room, but Baker says he can play at all the positions. So he's not just limited to one. Rachaad, he's a good handcuff to Bucky Irving. And he catches a lot of passes, guys. 2 years ago, he had a really good fantasy season. He averaged 15 a game, but I would go with Emeka here if you need another receiver on your team. If you went receiver heavy, definitely get Rachaad White here to add to your team. All right, now this is the late round gems. At pick 120, I'm going Jerome Ford here with the question marks about Quinshon Judkins. Here's the starting Browns running back here at pick 120. So he's easily your RB5. And he's a starter, so you love having starters on your bench. So I think Jerome Ford at pick 120 is a very good pick. At pick 121, I got Jake Ferguson. He's had decent couple years. 2 years ago was his better season, but I think he's going to bounce back with Dak coming back and leading the charge for the Cowboys. Pick 140, I got Joshua Palmer, who just signed with the Bills this year. I think he could easily be receiver 2 or even receiver 1 on the Bills. He could beat out Shakir to be Josh Allen's number 1 guy. He's been getting a lot of first team reps with the Bills. So that could cause him to be a huge steal. He's definitely worth the risk, guys. As your last receiver, why not take a Hail Mary on him? All right, pick 160. I got the Steelers defense. They're always a reliable defense. They always get sacks, which you love, turnovers. They re-signed TJ Watt. They got Jalen Ramsey. So you got to go with the Steelers defense. Then pick 161. Just draft the best kicker on the best offense. You want to get a kicker who's on a good offense and is going to have the opportunities to make field goals. So that's going to wrap up the first pick. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please, if you enjoyed the video, give it a like. Please leave a comment too and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.